This game is the ultimate proof that you should never judge a book by its cover. At first glance, it may seem like one of those cute and cozy games, perfect for spending a few relaxing hours with a friend. But in reality, it's a true nightmare, one of the most frustrating, unfair, and punishing games we've ever played. But don't worry, it has some flaws too.
Welcome back to Multiplayer Mayhem, the channel where you can discover new games to play with your friends. Today we're reviewing Bread and Fred, a game that truly tested our patience and our friendship. Think of it as the evil predecessor of Chained Together, only much harder. It's been a while since a game made us rage this much.
You and an unlucky friend will play as Bread and Fred, two adorable penguins who must climb a snowy mountain to retrieve a letter blown away by a sudden gust of wind. To reach the top, you'll have to jump from platform to platform, cling to precarious rock faces, swing back and forth over the void, and overcome any other obstacles in your way. If that doesn't sound tough enough, keep in mind that you're tied together by a rope, which not only limits your movement, but often turns out to be your worst enemy.
Guys, this game is pure hell. Despite being used to playing co-op games and having great synergy, we thought about shutting down the channel more than once because of this game. The core of the multiplayer experience lies in the rope mechanic that binds the two penguins together. But the rope is extremely short, leaving almost no room for error when jumping. One small timing mistake and you'll see your characters plummet down, losing hours of progress, or worse, find yourselves splattered back at the start of the game. Coordinating jumps through voice chat alone isn't enough, so you'll have to rely on the countdown feature in the game. But even in this case, if one player jumps a fraction too soon, you'll probably find yourselves at the bottom of the map, and possibly down a friend. Unfortunately, this countdown mechanic quickly becomes the crux of the entire experience. It's absolutely necessary to make progress, so you're basically forced to overuse it, which takes away the satisfaction of perfectly coordinating your jumps. The game tells you when and how to jump, and that's it. There are also two other important multiplayer mechanics. One allows you to anchor yourself to the ground and swing your partner for distant jumps, while the other lets you pull your friend up, which will save your beaks more than once. In these cases, unlike the jumping, collaboration actually matters, but it's more about each player's skill and their teamwork.
This game is visually stunning, with beautiful pixel art and vibrant, colorful landscapes. Technically, it's impressive too, featuring responsive controls and smooth animations. Thankfully, there are accessibility options to make the experience less frustrating and more enjoyable for everyone, though still challenging. For instance, we turned on the checkpoint feature. Without it, we probably would have been stuck in the first area. We also love the character animations when they fall, hitting their faces along the way. Not only is it funny, but it's also oddly cathartic, helping to ease the frustration from repeated falls and lost progress.
While the game mechanics are conceptually simple and very responsive, they're not intuitive as they may seem. This makes the game extremely punishing, maybe too much so. The already small margin for error is compounded by how hard it is to master the game mechanics, especially the swinging one. The problem is that this mechanic is crucial from the very beginning, and in the early stages, you'll often find yourself hoping for lucky timing rather than relying on your skill. You have no idea how many times we had to redo the very first jumps before we even started to understand the timing needed. The game's difficulty is fairly linear, but there are parts that are downright insane, forcing you to rely on the checkpoints. Some sections will admit we got through more by chance than skill, driven by sheer desperation.
The game can be played both online and locally, and Steam's Remote Play Together feature works very well. Just make sure there's no lag of any kind. The game is already hard enough without that added frustration. Playing together is simple and intuitive, and the price is quite reasonable for the content, especially if you split it with a friend.
Bread and Fred is one of the hardest and most unforgiving platformers we've ever played. It's one of those love it or hate it games. It can be incredibly rewarding when played with a partner you have great synergy with, and the accessibility options make it more enjoyable and customizable. However, this doesn't make the game any less challenging, and it can also be seriously frustrating due to its difficult to master mechanics and overall harshness toward players. But hey, look on the bright side. If your relationship survives this game, you've probably found the right person to play with.
So, our final rating is 4 multiplayer shields out of 5. If you're a hardcore player, this game is definitely for you. But if you're just looking for a fun, relaxing time with a friend, maybe find something less intense.
That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this review, make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on new multiplayer games to play with your friends. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Game on!